Twittergate continues. Friday night was another Twitter file dump with more promised over this weekend. The third installment focuses on the communication leading up to a sitting president's removal and shows just how cozy top tweeters were with the feds. One of Twitter's lead censors, Yoel Roth, even joking about FBI collusion. Elon Musk joined a Twitter Spaces focused on increased efforts to remove child exploitation. John Podesta's niece quits Twitter just in time, according to Post Millennial. Leslie Podesta, a woman who claimed to be the niece of John Podesta, resigned from Twitter's Trust and Safety Council on Thursday with two others, saying it is over concern about the well-being of Twitter's users. Cernovich responded they all belong in jail, linking to a New York Post article about Twitter refusing to remove child porn. Musk adds it is a crime that they refuse to take action on child exploitation for years. In Twitter Files Part 2, released Thursday night, blacklists and shadow banning by another name are revealed. Bari Weiss, founder of The Free Press, took the lead in this Twitter thread. She found Libs of TikTok and others were put on Trends blacklist, and podcaster Dan Bongino had multiple censorship tags applied, including being search blacklisted. She tweets all these activities against users were done in secret without informing users. One of the biggest Bari bombshells was exposing visibility filtering. Weiss pointed out Twitter had repeatedly denied shadow banning. She featured Vijaya Gandhi, Twitter's former head of legal policy and trust, and Kayvon Beekpour, Twitter's former head of product, for these tweets. "We don't shadow ban," Beekpour tweeted in 2018. Gandhi quote tweeted him and added, "Favoring one specific ideology or belief goes against everything we stand for." And remember when former Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey testified to House Commerce?
Are you censoring people?
No.
Twitter shadow banning prominent Republicans. It's bad. Is that true?
No.
Now, you could say misleading, but let's be frank, they were all lying. It's all semantics. Visibility filtering is just shadow banning by another name. It's controlling user visibility and limiting what people see on the platform. It's a very powerful tool, one senior Twitter employee told Weiss. A whole team was tasked with deciding whether to curb the reach of certain users on the platform, typically dealing with up to 200 cases per day. And guess who was on those teams? The same people who claimed shadow banning didn't exist. Ian Miles Chong asks if political candidates were shadow banned while running for office or seeking re-election. Musk simply responds with yes. You'd think all these revelations would be huge news. But the truth is, the MSM doesn't care. The corporate-controlled media has either downplayed or ignored the Twitter files. Is it because they were complicit in trying to interfere in an election? NBC, CBS, ABC, CNN spent just 7 seconds on the Twitter files when first exposed, according to the Independent Sentinel. And when they were mentioned, here's CNN's take.
But what it sort of shows is a real struggle at an important platform for how to deal with something so outrageous, so explosive, and what to actually do with it. What Poynter said, which is a media watchdog group, they said, file the Twitter files under M for meh. And the Washington Post said there's no smoking gun here. We've known a lot of this.
Tom Elliott reminds us where Poynter Institute's loyalties lie. The Poynter Institute, for those who don't know, is in part funded by the National Endowment for Democracy, which is basically a front for the U.S. intel community. The New York Times refers to the release as so-called Twitter files and then falsely claims Hunter Biden's laptop was stolen. Breitbart: the laptop was never stolen. It was abandoned, and the store took legal possession of it in accordance with documents that Hunter Biden signed himself when dropping off the laptop for repairs. He never reported it stolen or missing. It wasn't stolen. It wasn't hacked, and the complicit media dragged its feet in verifying the laptop. Oh, but surely that wouldn't have affected the 2020 election, right? Well, not according to the Media Research Center. A national survey of 1,000 general election voters shows of those who voted in the 2020 election, more than 13% said they would not have voted for Biden if they had been properly informed about the laptop. Enough of a margin when applied to the closest contested states to have made a difference. Other polls show it would have made an even bigger difference. We also learned the same FBI agent who played a crucial role in conducting illegal surveillance on Donald Trump's 2016 campaign also played a part in censoring the Hunter Biden laptop story during the 2020 election, according to American Greatness. Yes, James Baker, who was investigated by the DOJ for sharing classified information with reporters and resigning in disgrace, ended up being hired by Twitter.
Even James Baker, who you just noted there, had been the FBI's general counsel, then was at Twitter. Even he acknowledged, well, gosh, we don't have the evidence on this, but it doesn't matter. Let's block it anyway. And in fact, one of the exchanges back and forth, they reveal the reason, which is they say we want to avoid what happened in 2016, Donald Trump winning. This was all about weaponizing big tech. It is absolutely corrupt. And what is amazing is the Democrats were fully in on it. The corporate media was fully in on it. And Elon's released the receipts, which shows all of them are willing to abuse power to stay in power.
We know the FBI was meeting weekly with Twitter, but somehow the documents released weren't showing a clear-cut connection. Turns out that was ex-FBI lawyer James Baker, too, according to Miranda Devine of the New York Post.
He shows up at Twitter 5 months before the 2020 election, and lo and behold, one little element did come out in the Twitter files Friday night. It was this one email that had the date and time removed from it, very peculiarly, but it was from James Baker, and it was weighing in on the decision on the morning of October 14, 2020, a few hours after our story came out, and there was James Baker weighing in on the side of censorship. No surprise.
Baker was fired on Tuesday for more censorship, this time of FBI involvement in the scandal. Elon Musk says some of the data was hidden and maybe even deleted. Also discovered in the Twitter files was alleged election meddling by then-Democrat candidate for Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs. Attorney Christina Bobb revealed Hobbs' office was contacting Twitter to have opposition posts censored. Now that Kari Lake has filed a lawsuit to throw out midterm election results based on fraud and voter suppression, her team is calling on Musk to release any Hobbs Twitter collusion. For as much criticism as Musk has gotten since buying Twitter, his free speech ideals used to be right in line with the American Civil Liberties Union. ACLU lawyer David Goldberger even defended literal Nazis' First Amendment rights in 1978. Goldberger wrote in 2020, central to the ACLU's mission is the understanding that if the government can prevent lawful speech because it is offensive and hateful, then it can prevent any speech that it dislikes. In other words, the power to censor Nazis includes the power to censor protesters of all stripes and to prevent the press from publishing embarrassing facts and criticism that government officials label as fake news. Bringing you what's ignored, sensationalized, misleading, or just plain false. That's your media malfeasance for the week, Twitter Files edition. Like, share, and subscribe to beat the suppression and join my community on Locals, ChristyLeeTV.locals.com. For KLIM.news, I'm Christy Lee.